Hello everyone, and congratulations so much if your Schengen visa has been approved. But some people get so much excited such that they forget to pay attention to some of important points before they travel. And that's why I've decided to talk about it, because it happened to me when my first Schengen visa was approved and I almost missed traveling to the Netherlands. And those who are new here, my name is Pauline, born and raised in Kenya, in a local village with extreme poverty. And the reason why I share my whole story is because I want to encourage someone. And again, I have a big dream of starting a girls' education program to support those girls back in that village where their parents cannot pay their school fees, so that they can see their dreams come true. And by subscribing to my YouTube channel, by liking, by watching, by sharing, you will have helped me so much to accomplish this big dream. So, what are those things you're supposed to pay attention to once your Schengen visa has been approved? 1, when you get your passport, you check the sticker is there. You are so happy, and of course, you deserve to celebrate. But counter check if your name is matching with your passport. Did they spell your name well? Please, this is very important, because if it happens you travel with a visa sticker which the names don't match with your passport, you are not going to be allowed to enter into that Schengen country. So all the time, make sure that you go through it and you make sure everything is okay. Another thing you're supposed to counter check well is if your passport number is the same as in the sticker. Did they write it correctly? And in case you find that there's a mistake, the first thing you do, immediately you call the embassy and let them rectify that problem. Another thing you're supposed to have is to prepare your supporting documents, because you have to travel with them. Probably at the airport, the immigration officers, they are going to ask you to show them. And what are those supporting documents? Documents like insurance, invitation letter, hotel bookings, reservations, and bank statements, your bank pass, that is your ATM card, yes, and of course your passport. Make sure you have them, because when they ask you to produce like your insurance, you are going to show them. This is because if they asked you, for example, give us your invitation letter, and you don't give them, this might lead to more investigations. And if they find you don't have like 2 to 3 supporting documents, then they would want to investigate more. And the more they're investigating, the more the time is going, and you might miss your flight. You see? So it's very important to have those documents with you ready when you are traveling. Another thing you're supposed to prepare for, they are the questions and the answers you are going to be asked at the immigration office. For example, they are going to ask you, where are you going? If you are going to the Netherlands, you say, I'm going to the Netherlands. Where are you going to stay? You must know exactly where you are going to stay. For example, if you are going to stay in a hotel, you must give out the name of the hotel and all other documents. If you are going to stay by your friends or family, you're supposed to know exactly where this friend or family member stays. And when they ask you those questions, you're supposed to give them without any stating, direct questions, direct answers. That is what the officers at the airport want. They will also ask you, for how long are you going to stay? Remember, they have your visa, they've checked it, and they want to know, are you going to say the same thing? For example, if your visa said you're supposed to stay for 20 days, and then they ask you, for how long are you going to stay? And then you say 1 month. That is already a contradiction, and that will lead to more questions. And the more they ask you about questions and you don't answer directly, then it might lead to other problems. So make sure that you practice before you start your journey the answers you're going to give out when you ask at the immigration office. Another thing you're supposed to be aware is to respect the visa rules. This is very important. Once you get your passport, you check it well. The visa is valid from this date to this date. And that is very important, especially when you are booking your flight. If it's a direct flight, probably there's no problem. But if it's a connecting flight, and especially when you are coming out from the Schengen country to your country, that can bring problem, because sometimes you find your flight might have delays which you did not expect. And the moment you get a delay, and say, let me give you an example. For example, you are coming from the Netherlands, and then your flight is around 10 o'clock at night, and then you have to connect another flight in Paris. And it happens that in Paris, the connecting flight, it is delayed. And instead of taking 2 hours, it takes more than, like, let's say 3 hours. That means in Paris, you are going to stay there till 1 o'clock. Remember, you are supposed to be out of this Schengen country not later than 12 midnight. But now you are still in Schengen country, which is France, and it's already past midnight. It's 1 o'clock. You see, that is already a mistake. You've checked in with the customs and everything was okay, but because the flight has been delayed, when you land into your country and you meet the migration officers, that might bring a problem. And even if it's not going to bring a problem, the next time you are going to travel, that problem, the timing, the officers in the embassy, they will know it, and it might make you not to be granted the visa again. So it is always very important to respect the visa rules, the purpose of the visit, and to make sure that don't even leave the Schengen country later than the date which was scheduled in the visa sticker. That is very important. So, if this information has in one way or the other helped you, please subscribe, give me a like, leave me a comment, and by doing so, you will have helped me so much to have the morale of producing more videos. And I want you to stay tuned, because on my next video I'm going to talk about what do they mean when they talk about single entry or multiple entry. That is exactly what I'm going to talk about, because even before I never knew the difference. But because now I know, I want to share with you. And for now, I want to say thank you so much. Be blessed.